Hello, it's John, Vintage Fisherman. I'm back with a Penn 109. I've got 4 of these to do. I'm not keeping them. They're going to be sold at the fishing flea market that's coming up pretty soon. And I'm going to go ahead and go through them because these are pretty popular reels. I got 4 of the 109s, and I've got 4 of the 209s. Now the difference, of course, is the 209 is bigger. 209 has free spool. You can actually cast this reel if you had to. The 109 is what us old timers call a knuckle buster. There's no free spool. When you cast, the handle turns. That's fine for catfishing, and these reels do pretty well with catfishermen that like something vintage. So I do pretty well selling these because I might have like $5 in this reel, and even after I clean it up, I can still make money on it. And I'm putting new drags in it. It's going to, if it doesn't already have it, it's going to get HT100s. I've just ordered a whole stack of washers. Both these reels have the same drag system. So we're going to start out with the 109, and like I said, I'm starting to get things ready. The flea markets are going to be firing up here in our local area pretty soon. So I'm down here on a chilly Saturday morning in the shop. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I'm going to clean this old girl up and make somebody a really nice little catfish reel. Or you could use it on a pier. You're not going to cast it. You can cast it, but I don't overly recommend it. Now, get the right screwdriver here for these small screws. Very simple little reels, and they're tough. They're made for saltwater use. So use one of these in freshwater and you don't have to worry about it. I really wish Penn had probably made this reel where it had a complete free spool where you could kind of cast it. But they didn't. And I just think they're neat little reels. Fine for, and I don't mean to be picking on catfishermen, but a lot of times catfishermen are just dropping their bait right behind the boat. And okay, there's the pinion gear. There is the spool. We'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and knock all these screws out. This reel is just really dry. It's been in some mud, and that's unfortunate, but it hasn't hurt it. It'll clean up really nice. All right, we'll go ahead and that's the sleeve, they call it. Go ahead and take the bridge. This is a spare pawl. Check this out. Let me get the right screwdriver before I mess something up. We'll go ahead and take it out of there. The Penn was really nice to give you some extra parts with the reel. So you take that little, oh gosh, my fingers ain't gonna want to work. Okay, so there's a pawl, and there's this little cap that holds it down in that right there. It's nice. That way, if your level line pawl wears out on you, you got everything you need right there to fix it. Those are the bridge screws. And then this gear fell out. This gear goes in like that. Gosh, this thing has just been in the mud. While we're there, this right here is basically just like a bearing that gear rides on. The gear rides on the outside of it, and like this, and the shaft rides on the inside of that. So we'll clean those two things up. Okay, we've got the spring for the anti-reverse dog just popped out of there, but that's okay. It goes in there like this, and the spring, golly, come on, John. And the spring just went flying. Gosh, these daggone little springs. We'll see my big head here. I'll find the spring in a minute. It went right there, and it goes in right in here. We'll fix that. I apologize. So we'll keep this in order. Take the anti-reverse dog off of there. Things just don't want to behave on this reel. It's pretty muddy. You take the eccentric lever off. The eccentric is what throws it from drag or no drag on this particular reel. Would be free spool on any other Penn reel. It's unbelievable how muddy this reel is. It was still functioning fine. That's a testament to how well Penn makes their reels. This is called a bearing. Now, those of us that work on mechanical things, we know that a bearing has, in our eyes, balls and races, outer races, inner races, and balls. Penn calls this a bearing, and it's more of a bushing, but we'll go with what Penn says because, well, Penn says it. Now let's do this. Let's see what our drag looks like. This is old style drag. It's leather. It seems to be in good shape. I have not got my drag washers in yet, so I'll have to look and see if I've got any of these in stock so I can complete this reel today. Yeah, it was a chance I took taking it apart. Yeah, these washers are pretty much done. They still have elasticity to them, but they're sticking to the washers a little bit. And then this comes out off. This is and I ordered some more of those too. And then the last thing to do is to push this pin out. And I just put it over top. This is they call it a bench block. It's made for putting AR uppers and lowers together. You firearms guys will know that. You just push that out a little bit. See the pin? Push it out. You got to have the right size punch. This is an 1/8 inch punch. Also came out of a Wheeler gun repair kit. You can buy it anywhere, Amazon, whatever. There's a whole set of punches in there. I use it a lot. This little bitty pin comes out. Don't lose it. And that comes off, and you can clean all that shaft good. This side. Let's look at this side of it. That's a dust cover. Goes on there like that. It's one of the most aggravating things about putting this reel together is getting that damn dust cover on there. It'll make you hate life. Then this can come off. And this is your pawl for the level line. When it comes out, the pawl will be inside of that. So we'll put that down. We'll keep all those parts together. Now, this is the adjuster, adjusts the tension on the level line. Or actually, not the tension, but the center. Like if you're piling line up to one side or the other, you can adjust that out right there. Here's your bearing, which is a bushing for the palm side. We're getting down to nitty gritty here. while I'm off camera, I'll find that spring and decide to leave the chat. And I will dig up. I'm pretty sure I got enough drag washers to do this one reel. I've got, like I said, I've got 4 of these 109s to do. And they're in various stages of ugliness. I get these things in almost every time I buy like a box of reels. I either get a 109 or a 209 in the box, sometimes a 309. They must have sold a gazillion of these things. So with the market flooded with them, I'm lucky to get $20 a reel, honestly, for a good functioning reel. And I don't collect these series of reels from Penn. They're very neat. They got really cool little handles, and some people really like them. There's nothing at all wrong with these reels. They get the job done. It's just not, I don't collect them. I collect more in the way of either internationals from Penn, or I collect a lot of the pins that you can cast. Squitters, Jig Masters, and then you get into the mag series, 970, 980, 990. I love those reels. Then of course, Senators. I've got quite a few Senators from 1 alt all the way up to 9 alt. I don't have anything bigger than 9 alt. And then they get into the newer series, the mag series, like the 525 mag, the 535, which is not really a mag, it's 535 GLS or whatever, or GS. I like that whole series from the 525 all the way to the 555. Those are great reels. I think some of the finest reels Penn ever made. But anyway, and they were right at the end of what Penn made in America. Just great reels. And of course, Penn went overseas at some point, and the quality's not as good. I think the internationals are still made in the U.S. This is a U.S. made Penn. I'm not adept enough on these reels to tell you when it was made in the USA. What vintage it is. It's going to clean up really, really nice. I'm going to tell you, this is going to look really good cleaned up. It's almost a mottled finish. Mottled meaning it's got like little speckles of black mixed in with the red. And it's going to be really pretty. Somebody's going to get a nice reel here. But I've got them. Here's one that I got to pull the line off of it. That's one somebody has engraved their name in or something. Don't know what that means. It's okay. This is a really old one here. Much older than that one. Here's a newer one that's got like 150-pound test on it. What in the world they were doing with it, I don't know. I expect to see completely smoked drags here. This one does have free spool. This one does have free spool. So this is a 9. Okay. And this one here is, even though it's a newer reel than that one, it's got a couple more features, which is really nice. This is a 109. It does not have free spool. It's going to be the same setup as this. And you could tell, you don't even have to know the model number to pick it up. If it's only got 2 screws on the bridge, it's a 109. If it's got 4 screws on the bridge, it's a 9. I got one more of those here in a box somewhere. So anyway, I'll be back after I get this cleaned up and find some drags for it, and find my spring that decided to run away. And we'll put this thing back together. All right, this is John. I'm back with this 109 Penn, all cleaned up. Let's see what we can do with it. I did have drag washers in stock. Those are HT100s. I've got more. I've ordered 24 of these washers. About $40 worth. I keep them in stock. So what I don't use, I'll have. What else did I have to do this thing? Oh, I found that spring. And I was telling you about how the finish was going to be really pretty. Of course, it's oiled up pretty good right now with WD-40, but see how it's got kind of a mottled, finish in it. It's going to be a really pretty reel. So let's put it together. Been a minute or two since I've done one of these reels. Let's see what we can do with it. I'm going to start over here on the palm side. We'll put this bearing in. We don't want to tighten it down yet. We'll put this bearing in. This goes to the level line. This goes in like this. We won't tighten it up yet. Okay. We'll put the ring on it. And you got the 2 holes down here for the stand. That helps you get it lined up. Okay, we'll set that aside for just a second. Here's your stand. Beautiful shape. There is no rust on this reel. It had been dunked in the water, but there's no rust in it. Now on these screws, 3 of them are longer than the other 2. The two short ones go into your stand, which are these 2 right here, I believe. No, that's wrong. I'll get it right here in just a second. I'm about to sneeze. So we'll get one of them started. This is the most aggravating part of any Penn reel, is getting that, or Penn conventional reel, is getting that, excuse me just a second, getting that stand started. It doesn't want to cooperate usually. You want to grease those threads, and the 2 short screws go into the stand. And we'll go ahead and take them down pretty tight. They're okay to be tight. And I'm talking tight, 10 inch-pounds maybe. Okay. Up here at the top, you have the bar, the big heavy bar that has the groove in it. Okay. It is for your level line. You'll go put it in there and leave it just a little bit loose. You can have it snug where you can spin it, but not so snug you can't spin it. Somewhere about right there. Then you got 2 more bars. We'll put some grease in there. You got your last 2 screws over here. These can go ahead and be tightened also. It's a rainy old Saturday morning here in Virginia. After having snow and ice all week, it decided to, well, there's a little bit of ice out there this morning. But, man, we're still in February. So, when I get this, I'm about a month and a half ahead on my reel repair videos. So when you hear me talking about winter, it's because it's actually still winter here. And by the time this video comes out, I'll be on the streams fishing, I hope. So now your level line. This, you got two ends of your level line. You got one that's got 2 flats on it. That goes to your gear end. And the part that's just round, it goes up in there. So your level line guide will go in, and then it's easiest to put it into the cap. Ouch. Pinch my own finger. A little bit of grease, because these reels do get used in salt water. And screw it in there, and you're going to have to kind of make sure it gets into place. Not as easy with pins because of the way they're made. There it goes. It found its way home. It should, when you spin it, it should screw and unscrew on this level line. I always take it down towards the palm end. And that goes in there. It goes in here in that groove, and you want to adjust that groove where it's riding in there pretty good, and you can go ahead and tighten that one down. Then the last thing is the hood, and it goes in. We'll lubricate all this stuff in just a minute. We're not going to lubricate it just yet. Now, all this is going to want to fall apart. So just set it aside and scream at it later. It will drive you nuts. It's just a pin thing, I guess. We can go ahead and set the spool in here. Just like that. Okay? So I got rid of a whole slew of parts. Okay, let's build the drive side. We're going to go ahead. A little bit of grease right here. A little bit of grease right there. That's for the pawl, the spare pawl. The spare pawl is right. You got this right here, and then the pawl. You push that down in there, and I got enough WD-40 in there. It's not going to corrode and get stuck. And a lot of people don't even know they got a spare part with their reel. Be surprised how many people don't know that. Okay, we'll put that in there. A little bit of grease shot out. That's okay. We'll put the bearing in. We'll oil all this at the end of the reel when I'm doing the final assembly, or after I've done the final assembly on it. I'll make sure everything gets oil on that you can oil from the outside where you have oil fittings. Okay. We won't put that on just yet. The next thing is the eccentric. Get a little dab of grease on that hook and put it up underneath the eccentric. Okay, and the eccentric needs just a little bit of grease. And you're going to fuss at it, I'm telling you. But it goes in here like this. And it won't pop all the way in because it just can't. So what you need to do, put your lever on there backwards and spin it. No, that's the wrong way. I spun it the wrong way. Spin it till it kind of sits there. Then you can turn your lever over. It's not going to want to stay in place, of course. We'll put a little bit of grease there. And you got your screw. See there? And there's grease under there. So we're good there. Okay. The ring can go on now. Well, no, it can't. Let's build this thing. First thing is your handle shaft. Give it a little bit of Lucas oil. Lucas oil is perfect for pin reels. And of course, you can always use pin oil. That's what that is. I like the Lucas just because it's readily available around here. I don't have to order it. I can go down to the local O'Reilly's and buy the pin or buy the Lucas fishing reel lubricant. I like that kind of convenience. You put that pin back in that hole after the shaft's already on there, and then just take a pair of needle nose and just lightly press that pin into place. Okay. Next up is the fiber washer. Oops, got a little too much on there. That's okay though, it was dry. Cow's lubricant. Good stuff. Keeps your drag smooth. They say you don't need it with carbon tex washers, blah, 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 blah. I always use it. Okay, I cleaned the gear really good. I had to get in there and clean the teeth. It was pretty gummed up, had mud in it. It goes on first, okay? Then we're going to cowls on the HTs. I put it on there to where I can still see my thumbprint a little bit when I pull my thumb back off of it. Then you're going to get a keyed washer. They're both the same thickness. Always check that out. If you got one thicker than the other, the thicker one will go to the outside. You'll put that on, and then another HT100. And then your eared washer. Make sure the ears go into the notches on the gear. And then the last HT100. And then your last keyed washer. And then the wavy washer goes on. It has to go on before you put the gear down in there, okay? Now, the anti-reverse dog goes in make sure I got it the right way here. I'm just feeling my way through it. That's not doing anything. That is the right way there. Why did I get stuck all of a sudden? Oh. It goes in behind there. Okay. That looks awful sticky. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but you got to put your spring in here, and this thing here will make your day miserable if it flies out. So I always take extra grease and put all over it and hope like hell it don't go flying out of there while I'm playing with this thing. Make sure I got it right. Okay. So flip your lever into the off position. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath. Go ahead and lubricate your pinion. You don't have a yoke or a jack plate on this reel because doesn't have free spool. So you'll lubricate that pinion and slide it down onto the spool. Then you can give it some more lubricant. I did not give it enough lubricant. I just kind of slid it on there the best I could. Get that nice and pretty. Set that down. And your gear, the main gear, I'm a little concerned. Those HT100 drags are pretty thick. I'm a little concerned that this reel's not going to run right with those. We're just going to give it a shot. I mean, it's made, they make the drag HT100 kit for this because I ordered them. But I don't know. It looks like the stack's too tall. We'll see when we get it together. Sometimes I have to put shorter sleeves in them. Okay. With the anti-reverse dog up out of the way, you can just, it's going to be close. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I can't. Yeah. Wow. They really made that one where Oh boy. Okay. The dog's got to come off of there. It won't go together with it in there. So go ahead and put your gear down in there. I'm already aggravated. It's so hard to get your fingers down in this thing. Can you hear the exasperation? Some of these reels are just freaking ridiculous. I got it in place. I gotta get the spring, and then that's going to go flying because I have a lot of faith in it. I've lost so many of them over the years. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? We'll take the spring out and then put it back in. No, don't go flying. Okay, we'll wheel this around. Put it into place. Okay. Whew. I might have did it. We'll go ahead and put these 2 screws in. Tighten them down. Okay. A little patience sometimes goes a long ways, don't it? All right. Okay. Everything's spinning. You got this gear. Goes in like this. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and put this in there. This is the bearing for the, and it goes all the way down. You just tighten it all the way down. It doesn't, there's no adjustment here. It's tight or nothing. This, you can give it a little bit of grease. It's not cool. You're not going to get a lot of it on there because your hands are going to be covered in if you do. Definitely some grease in the middle. And just drop it in place. Okay, just like that. Woo! All right. Now the fun begins. This is not even the hardest part of this reel. Trust me. All right, we got the... Yeah. Goes like that. These are your stand screws. Penn calls it a stand. Here's where I lose my mind every time. This is a pain. For no other reason than this is my nemesis. Trying to hold this thing in place, get this up under there. I've chucked these things a couple times over the years. We'll put it all together here. I'm nowhere near being right. What's going on? Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to get that first. And to hold that in place, that's already popped out. We'll go ahead and put this screw in right here. And I pre-lubed those posts. So we're going to get this down a little bit. We'll back that off. We'll go ahead and put this screw in this post. Now you have 2 short screws and 3 long screws, just like on the palm side of the reel. We can go ahead and tighten this one and this one down, I believe. That'll hold it all in place. Then your 2 short stand screws can go ahead and go in. The reason why the stand screws are shorter They'll work in either place, but if you put a long screw in there, it's going to protrude through. And as your line's paying out, either with a fish running or if you're trying to cast, it can get wrapped up under that screw and cut your line. So make sure you put the short screws in the stand. Very important. I can go ahead and tighten these up now. Then your last screw goes into this post. I'm going to do the rest of these reels off camera. There's no need to video 3 more of these reels. I'll do the 9. I'll do a video on the 9, but I'm not going to do the video on the other 2 109s. Okay, let's adjust the spool here. All right. Spinning pretty good. Your sleeve can go on there. Not going to be a lot of room for the drag. Now the drag has part number on one side and no part number on the other. Put the part number down. This is fun. It's going to fight me all the way. You have to get the drag where it can go down. I'm not happy with that, but we'll see. Let's work it in good. I may be preliminary pissed off. Let's just see how it goes. A little bit of grease down in there. The last piece of the puzzle goes on. The problem is the HT100 drag washers are a lot thicker than the factory washers. And that sleeve becomes too tall. Sometimes, so I have to go to a shorter sleeve, but I think that might be okay once it gets broke in good. Okay. Let's see, is my level line working? No, it's not. There it goes. And then, like I said, you have to adjust this to wherever you want that set at for your line to come on the spool evenly. It's just right amount of play. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's wipe it down. I gotta get me another rag out here. So this one, like I said, it's going to get sold at the local flea markets. I'll post that up if you're in this area. You might want to drive in for it. It's usually a pretty good showing. Our local, we only have one tackle shop in Roanoke besides Sportsman's Warehouse, which is a joke. They do a pretty good job putting it on. They just moved. They have a lot nicer facility now. So it's called the Honey Hole. They cater to the cat fishermen and trout fishermen. They're not a bass. If you're going there to look for bass lures, don't bother. But the flea market will have everything. I'll have saltwater gear there for sale. Anyway, that's it. Man, I'm real happy with that reel and how it turned out. You can't beat that. It's just, look at that. It's just a beautiful reel. Yeah, I'm real happy with it. That's $20 flea market. I probably got 10 in it. You know, what I paid for it. My little bit of time here, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. There's one ready. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. I'm going to be busy getting ready for these sales. Got to get rid of some of this stuff. I got hundreds of reels sitting around here. Hundreds, literally. So, you know, Appreciate y'all watching. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm this close to hitting 500. Then I got to go, because you know how YouTube is. 500 was your first marker. Here's your carrot. Chase it. And then they say, okay, well, you got to get 1,000 now. Yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever, YouTube. I didn't go into this to make money. But it is kind of nice to see people enjoy what I do. And I will have some fishing content as soon as the weather gets nice enough to fish. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Y'all take care.